take them. Trying to reach this ultimate with no ultimatum. Proverbials conveying my verbatim proof operations.
What is up, everybody? Happy Monday, and welcome to episode 85 of Pride Rules MMA. 85, brother.
That's crazy. That's like an interstate. That's like a golden girl. We're up there.
Ooh.
Thank you for being a friend, Tommy. Thank you.
Yes.
Travel down the road. And back again.
And back again.
I can go on. I love this shit. Exactly, yo. Golden Girls gang, we out here.
That's right.
Oh,
well, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, 2 Minute Warning Sports 360, and the fine folks with our new family over there at Fightbook MMA. I am your host, the good Reverend Tommy D. Joined with me by El Professor, the Latin sensation who is taking Pride Rules podcast across the nation, Omar Sangarima. What is up, player?
I'm just living the dream, my man. You know, just cashing checks and breaking necks, man. You know how it is. It's fun times. Yeah,
man. Wow, we are coming down off one hell of a fight weekend, starting from Thursday night with the PFL event, which was outstanding. Little bit of camera issues. I know they're going to work those kinks out because it was the first show, but the fights themselves were awesome. Friday night was a Ring of Combat, which was amazing. And then Saturday night we had UFC 225. First of all, I just want to thank Roberto and everybody over there at Fightbook for getting me those credentials for Ring of Combat. That was a lot of fun to cover that event. You know, Fightbook had 2 events going on that night. We had Ring of Combat here in Jersey and MMA in Belfast.
Jesus, what? Hold on. How do I get the creds for Belfast, Roberto?
Yeah, right?
Jesus. You know, I am in the boonies. I might be able to go overland, like over Greenland. Just fucking take it from there. How I got to this country. Yeah, why not? I got to this country on a fucking boat. Like,
you came in on the same floating door that Jack came from.
Hell yeah. There's enough space for 4 people on that thing, all right? Fuck Rose. I'm team fuck Rose here, all right? Jesus.
But yeah, Ring of Combat was a lot of fun. It was awesome to meet. The stars were out of the UFC that night. You know, Corey Anderson was there, Carl Robertson was there, Marlon Moraes was there. Getting to meet Eddie Alvarez and shaking hands with Ray Longo. It was nice. It was nice. I'm excited to do some more events for them, and it was nice to see Frankie Perez get himself back in that win column with a beautiful rear naked choke in the first round. For all of you that actually want to watch that event, it will be on ringofcombat.com Friday night. It's on their on-demand section. I don't know if you have to pay for it, but if you do, it's worth the money. Every fight was amazing. So, brother, I want to open this show with the hashtag #FightMe segment because we have another UFC Hall of Fame inductee, and it is none other than Rowdy Ronda Rousey. I know you're going to agree with me on this because we've talked about this before. She 100% deserves to be inducted into this Hall of Fame, don't you think?
I completely agree. Except the only thing I have issue with, I'm not trying to fight you because I know you're ready to go after a wild weekend. This haphazard way that they induct folks is the only thing I'm pissed off about. She deserves it completely. But one of the things we saw on Facebook, and I think it was a valid point, was how long has she been away, right? Because every other major sport has got us conditioned that there's a portion of time that you need to be retired or away from the sport in order to then be considered. And I get that it's a new sport, but I think that could be one thing where they could, now or in 4 or 5 years, she would be as equally deserving. Doesn't matter what happens to everybody else that fought her, whatever happens to the women's divisions. If the women's divisions grow as they should, that's even adding more shine to her legend. The same way when Pete Rose was, doing the damn thing, he made Ty Cobb look good. it wasn't. You evolve and you get better. But bro, she retired 17 minutes ago. Like, what's going on?
Well, I know UFC does things a little bit different, but Dana White is trying to ride that Ronda wave right now because she's doing such big things over there at WWE. So I kind of get it. Do I agree with you? 100%. I 100% agree with you. But, I mean, the timing doesn't really bother me that much because I think in sports, if somebody retires and they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, they should be on the ballot. Like Derek Jeter should have been on last year's ballot. He should have been. That's what I feel. But, as far as her going in, she completely deserves it. Of course, you have the idiot trolls, with the, she got knocked out, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, if it wasn't for Ronda, there would be no women's fighting in the UFC because at that time, there were no women that were moving the needle the way that she was in Strikeforce. She was unbeatable. She was unstoppable. She was beating everybody with an arm bar. And she was beating all their top stars that became pretty much top stars in the UFC. Miesha Tate, former champion. She beat her twice.
Miesha Tate went and cheated on her man to avoid fighting her for a fourth time. Like, that's how wild it was. That's how crazy that got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and let me tell you, she did not make a pretty mom. Like, every bad part of her, when she was, I know she just had the child, but man, she was an ugly new mom. I remember photos. I was like, Jesus Christ. Wow, Christ.
Well, she did go through 67 hours worth of labor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I feel like an asshole now.
Yeah, 67 hours they said it was. That's a lot of pushing.
That's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Brian Caraway's baby would have probably, given up a lot easier. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. She should have stuck with Brian. But I mean, for Ronda to get in, it's great. It really is because we've talked about this before. When Cyborg fought, oh my God, what the hell's her name? I'm completely blanking on her because she's been away from the game so long. Gina Carano?
Yeah, when she fought Gina Carano and just pecker slapped the hell out of her, that pretty much killed women's MMA. Nobody cared because everybody looked at Cyborg and said, well, nobody's beating her because at that time everybody thought nobody was beating Gina. And Gina was actually exciting to watch. What Cyborg did to her completely crushed women's MMA. And let's be honest here. Besides Ronda, it's not like women are getting paid close to what the men are getting paid. They, of course, the UFC 225 payouts, and Holly got like $75,000 for her fight. Which, I mean, you're talking about a former champion. And she gets $75,000.
That's a thing. That's some bubble gum. And some deodorant. You know what I'm saying?
And Megan Anderson walked away with a cool $13,500.
Well, but they also gave her a lifetime supply of spray-on tanner, though, and it was contributed by fans voted in and said, please. Can we get her to at least sit in a tanning bed for maybe a week prior because it keeps fucking with the color resolution on my HD TV? I watching her fight gave me a fucking migraine, Tommy. And not just for the lack of ground skill. I was looking at her. I'm like, Jesus Christ. I mean, I never knew the definition of La Flama Blanca until that evening. Like, I really thought I did, but it wasn't accurate. That woman. And you know what? I told my girl while I was watching. I was like, "Did she put more makeup on to look whiter?" Because she did. Like she put makeup on her face to make her face blend in with the body. I think in an effort to camouflage herself against Holly Holm striking. That's how fucking pale this girl was. God damn it! I was.
We're definitely going to get into that fight when we start breaking down the event, but.
I'm sorry.
So, like we were saying, like the women's pay is not commensurate to the men's, but no. Ronda made it that way because she was a big name. She was an actual brand. She might not be the greatest actress in the world, but she was in some pretty big movies. She was in some pretty big movies, and it all came from, the UFC.
A lot of people can say, like a lot of, I think you can say that Conor didn't become Conor without kind of piggybacking off of a little bit of the formula for Ronda Rousey. I think to speak to your point,
she came first.
Yeah.
She came way before him.
Yep, exactly.
She was, like I said, she was making all that noise in Strikeforce. And for all those years, Dana White, I'll never have women in the UFC. And I can't wait to get to the end of the show to talk about that fucking guy. The comments that he came out with at the end of the 225 event, but we're going to save that for the end because I'm going to go on a rant with that. Trust and believe, I'm going on a rant.
Good.
And just for everybody that's listening, if you want to call in, the phone number is 917. I got it written down here. 917-889-2676. That is 917-889-2676. Call in, talk about the event with us. But all those years, he turned around and said that he will not have women's MMA in the UFC. And then Ronda was this big fucking shooting star. And next thing you know, there she is, and there's the women's division in the UFC, and it became just as popular as the men when Ronda was in there. So she is wholeheartedly deserving that spot in the UFC Hall of Fame. And I know you said that you agree. I know you don't agree with the timing, but you know what? It's great that she's going in, and it's obvious she's definitely going to be the first woman inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame, isn't she?
I think so. I think you're spot on. Another only bone I had to pick was where the fuck was she then? That I hate too. If you're gonna have this in a, it's like it just reeks of haphazardness though. Like she wasn't there, was she? Like, hey, wave to the crowd, like yo.
No, no, she wasn't there. I think it was announced. And, of course, she went on social media right away. Does it seem like it was kind of just thrown in, like, hey, let's just induct Ronda? Yeah.
For sure.
But I don't disagree with it. And like I said, they're definitely piggybacking off the fact that she's reinvented herself in the WWE. And, she's going to have one hell of a career there, especially now with the whole UFC Hall of Fame, because Vince McMahon isn't stupid. He's going to be using that to piggyback her character. So it's great. I'm happy to see it. It's great for the women's division, I think. And I think it's going to put a hell of a lot more spotlight on these women fighters now that there is a woman inducted into the UFC Hall of Fame. So, brother man, let's jump on to UFC 225 in Chicago. The Fight Pass prelims are pretty good. And the prelims on FS1 were pretty good. Ricardo Lamas got pretty fucking bashed up. And speaking of bashed up, Alistair Overeem got his shit took by Curtis Blades. I thought Curtis was going to win. I didn't think he was going to bludgeon him that bad. What did you think of those elbows?
Nobody thought that. Curtis probably believed in himself, and God bless him, but, I could believe I'm going to get a perfect score in the SATs back in the day, but if it happens, it's still surprising. And, side note, it never did. I'm still pissed. Wish I could run that one back. But it's just fucking crazy, man. He came in. What was really scary to me at first? I had a little butthole puckering moment there. When Curtis really started, like, full-on trading with him on the feet. There was a couple of exchanges there where he was firing back. He was doing well, but it was still like, hold on, sir. This is still Alistair Overeem. Maybe he's not what he once was, I guess, but it's still not, I was like, take him down. And then he did. And then he, opened his head up like a fucking can of tuna fish. So, all's well that ends well. But impressive, man. What do you think, Tommy, with the calling out as the next title shot? You think he's, I don't know, deserving, I guess?
He just beat the number one contender.
Yeah, technically.
He beat the
would you
number
want
one
to see
contender.
him? Would you want to see him against Ngannou first if Ngannou manages to get back past the Black Beast again and have that rematch? Or what would you want to say? Because Ngannou would lose. This Curtis Blades, progressive Curtis Blades would kill him, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't mind seeing that again. As far as this, yeah, I guess so, man. I guess it all depends on what happens with the Stipe and the DC fight, right? I mean, I think by the time that, because DC said when the clock strikes 40 for him, he's retiring. So when he wins that belt, because he's 39, if he wins that belt, I think he's just going to retire. So then what do? Do they have a tournament? Or do they have a fight for the vacant title?
They should have a tournament, and it should be a one-day affair. They should have it on a cruise ship.
That's never going to happen.
They should have it on a cruise ship in international waters. The fuck is going to happen then, huh? All right? This is America. All right? Seriously, no, they should have a tournament, though. I think they could. If it's added panache to Bellator, with which not knocking Bellator, but at least the heavyweight division is a hair removed from the type of prominence that the UFC can bring, and that's not even saying a lot with the UFC. Heavyweight's still a little rough around the gills at this point, regardless of where you go. But a tournament would be fun, man. I think it'd be great. Only thing is, a lot of them have already fought each other. That's the only thing.
I mean, you're not going to see it in one night, but I mean, if that's something that gets more eyeballs towards the heavyweight division, God forbid Stipe loses, then I'm all for it. But
Stipe loses, holy shit, though, huh? Imagine.
Yeah, it would be. It would be amazing. It would be absolutely amazing. But I could see honestly, I know I said that if DC wins, I could see him retiring. I could see him at least defending the belt once, so he could say that he's a multiple champ who's defended both belts. You know what I mean? So maybe I could see that. I don't know. Well, because he's defended the light heavyweight belt, and then if he wins the heavyweight belt, I could see him doing one
DC,
fight to defend that.
I thought you said Stipe.
Yeah.
Stipe, my apologies.
Oh no, Stipe. I don't think he's making. God forbid, you'd have to cut one of his arms off to make light heavyweight.
Cut off one of those fucking meaty clackers.
Yeah. So maybe you're right. Maybe they do the Curtis Blades and Ngannou fight if he beats Derek Lewis, which I think he will. I think he's going to beat Derek Lewis, but
I hope not. I really hope not.
Why?
Why? Because Derek Lewis has, hands down, the funniest Twitter page of any fighter actively competing in fisticuffs / mixed martial arts / boxing / bocce.
He's got no shot against Curtis Blades, and he's got no shot at either DC or Stipe. Ngannou still has that chance. Derek Lewis is. He's great on social media. He's a
savage. He's a savage on social media. The things he come up with, I'm like, damn it, he should be a comedian. All right, I think he could probably cut up on the show right now.
Maybe that's a good career, move after he's done with fighting. But
it'd be hilarious.
At this juncture, I really don't want to see him. I don't know. I just think it would be one of those heavyweight fights where he's just going to get obliterated by the champ.
He's the Black Roy Nelson, man. Why are you being a racist? He's always a threat to knock people out.
Did Roy Nelson ever get a shot at UFC gold?
No, but he certainly had a more than serviceable career where I'm pretty positive he banked enough money to be banging good-looking broads despite how he looks in the mirror for quite some time.
I'm sure Derek Lewis can do the same thing.
That's true.
But,
I would like it.
I mean,
I just want to see him get paid, man. Come on. Trying to keep the man down. Trying to keep the man down.
You know how the UFC is. They don't always make the right move. They just make any move, and, they just throw shit at a wall, hope it sticks, and hope it makes money.
They're like a preteen boy at this point. Like, they don't make the right moves. They just make a move.
No.
They fucking give it a try. It's terrible.
Yeah. And speaking of terrible, great segue.
Careful moves. You're welcome.
Yeah, great segue. I think it's time Sugar Rashad Evans hangs it up and just...
Oh, Lord.
Because, look,
First
6
of
years
all,
ago...
Take away Sugar.
6 years
First
ago,
of all, let's take away. No, he doesn't. He does no longer earn that moniker. All right. Let's just call him fucking Bubba or something. I don't know.
So you take this fight 6 years ago and put him against Anthony Smith, and Anthony Smith is looking up at the lights probably faster than what he did to Rashad. Nothing against Anthony Smith, but Rashad Evans was a goddamn beast.
Who the hell is Anthony Smith?
A beast.
I love the fight game, right? That's what you're saying, right?
yes.
This would have been a tune-up fight for Rashad if he wanted to say, listen, I'm gonna just fight lefty this fight. We're working on some things, right, in the tool bag.
Yeah.
You got me? It's one of those fights where he's like, yeah, you know what? Let's just work on outside singles the entire fight. You need to beat him somehow, outside single and then dump him on his head and hopefully he'll knock him out. Sugar's done. And he's been done for a little bit, but this is just
after that knee surgery. It was after that knee surgery,
But it's not an easy.
It's not an easy thing to bounce back from at his age.
No,
you know what I mean?
at any age, bro. Especially at his age, and then especially in what he's trying to do. Coming back to these surgeries are unless they're done with the perfect combination of features, Tommy. These surgeries are meant to get schmoes like me to and from his desk, and I'm able to drive, and I'm able to carry children and shit, and earn a paycheck and pay taxes, and keep social security going, till I get there at least. It's not meant to really make you able to cage fight again. It's not. If it does, it's great. The surgeon's a magician. Stem cells were probably mixed in somewhere. Santeria was involved. There's a whole host of factors have to come into play. You know this more than I do, Tommy. You can be 100% civilian citizen life, but it's rare to come back and it's not the knee, but it's the same thing with the ruptured Achilles, that DeMarcus Cousins guy.
Yep.
Right? On the Pelicans. He goes from, he's a franchise player. The Pelicans look amazing, right, with Unibrow there too, and now he's what? They're potentially saying, listen, we'll give you $5, and we have to see what you can do before we even talk about a long-term deal, or they're going to trade him. It's just legs feed the wolf, man, in whatever sport you do, and these surgeries are still tricky, dude. It's terrible.
Yeah, and it's funny how everything comes full circle, because when he dropped Chuck Liddell, this is the time when everybody was saying, I think Chuck is gone, and now he gets dropped in almost the same fashion, and we're saying the same thing about him. I don't want to see him fight anymore.
That's the thing.
To Anthony Smith,
yes, stop.
You came out there, you did what you needed to do. People did not think that was going to happen that way, but you know what? Congratulations. It's a big name on your resume, but I don't think that he's going to beat any other big name other than that. I don't even think that fight does anything for him other than gives him a big name on his resume. And honestly, I think it's time that, Rashad just rides off into the sunset. He had one hell of a career. He was light heavyweight champ. He was the winner on The Ultimate Fighter. Do you think he had a Hall of Fame worthy career?
I do. I absolutely do. I think he merited it. He was in there. He always gave as much as he got. He took the belt off of a very, very game set of opponents. I think he did enough. I absolutely do. That was going to be my thing. Was, hey, right off into the sunset. And do I think it's going to be one of those quick Hall of Fame inductions? No, because it seems as though it's done whenever the fuck Dana White feels like doing it. So I think it might be probably. It's not. I don't see that they saw eye to eye a lot. I don't think he was a ridiculously potent draw. So potentially, it'll take some time. But based on his body of work, I absolutely do feel he should get the nod.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So, hopefully he just makes that decision to just stop, because nobody wants to see that anymore. Because we've talked about this before with TJ, with Chuck. Like, that star that they have already severely diminishes the more they keep getting outclassed and knocked out, and these quote-unquote casual fans don't know them for who they were. They just know them for who they are now. You know what I mean? There's got to be other avenues that he can make money.
And there is, I think, Rashad? Oh, dude,
yeah.
I feel I could listen to him in the booth. I'd be okay with that. I think he has enough of the gift of gab where that could be something. Sometimes I'd like to hear him more than I'd like to hear Bisping, I'll tell you that much, although I got to begrudgingly give him props for slapping Covington's PP. If we want to get to that later.
I could not. Oh, I can't wait to get to that. I cannot wait. Dude, I'm going to grow angrier as we keep going on with these fights, trust me.
Good.
And the first one that's getting my blood boiling is what we're going to talk about right now, okay? Mike fucking Jackson and CM goddamn Punk. That fight was atrocious. That fight was
not
fucking...
that Mike Jackson.
No. That Mike Jackson might have actually made it a better fight, to be honest.
Oh, stop.
In the casket.
What, like
in the casket.
Asian Mike Jackson?
No, in the casket, because CM Punk still probably would have lost.
Oh, wow.
I was pissed
Wow.
when he got signed the first time. And, our buddy Mike from Hawaii, he's like, bro, the more you keep talking about him, you take away from his opponent. You know why? It's not just me talking about him that takes away from his opponent. It's the fact that he got paid $503,000 fucking dollars, and his opponent didn't even get close to that in both accounts. Now, Mickey Gall has a better career than Mike Jackson has. I don't think we see Mike Jackson back in the UFC. If we do, it's just for Dana to embarrass him. But it really looked to me like somebody at the UFC pulled Jackson aside and said, hey, listen, we know this guy can't fucking fight, but he brings people in here. So do us a favor. Can you not knock him out quickly?
I've always wondered what your like dirty, sleazy bookie voice sounded like. And I just heard it. This guy can't fight.
Oh, no, that's not. You want the bookie voice? Hey, Mike, come here. Let me talk to you for a minute, okay? Look, we know this guy can't fight to save his fucking life. We know that. But all these people pay tickets. We got the fucking pay-per-view over here. We got all that money coming in. So this is what we need you to do. We need you to just make it look good. We need you to make him look like he could survive. Give him 3 rounds. Let him get through the 3 rounds and walk out of here, with his head held high, okay? All right, thank you. Give him a little slap on the face, and then he walks out. Because that's what that fight looked like to me. That's what it looked like to me.
That was fugazi.
I mean, it was so big. It looked like he let CM Punk take him down. Didn't even try and defend it.
Yeah.
CM Punk had side control. It was just like, what is happening here? And then he's sitting in CM Punk's guard, and he's looking over at his corner, and then throws a punch. CM Punk can't get his head out of the way. This is why I get angry, because he did not have the right kind of career to get him to a professional fight. He did not go through the AMIs where you learn how to work the ring. You learn your timing. You don't learn that shit just in the gym. It does not work that way. It doesn't work that way. I don't care how much money it makes. It's embarrassing. And then, of course, after the fact, Uncle Dana's like, oh, I should have had that fight on Fight Pass. Like, it seems more to me that he was mad that CM Punk lost than the fact that CM Punk shouldn't have even fucking been in there.
Oh, that's
Am
for
I
sure.
right or wrong?
I think he was pissed off that it backfired on him. And so he's trying to, save face. He's a promoter at the end of the day, and a promoter is a little bit further down on the sliding scale of truthiness than even a lawyer. So whatever way the wind blows, it's going to be where Dana White goes to. So if by some miracle, either they had paid Mike Jackson to take a dive, or somehow CM Punk managed to pull it off. Stranger things have happened, brother. We know. Somebody can slip on a banana peel and then, walk into an elbow. Who knows? If one of those two had happened, Dana White would be like, well, I'm so glad I gave him the opportunity. Maybe we'll have him fight somebody else. And, he's making a go of it. Like, he would be lauded as this, fucking, who was that guy that Wahlberg played on the Eagles that walked on? He'd be that dude.
Vince Papale.
Yeah, exactly. Like he'd be touted as some wild, walk-on success story, and every year he'd have something to do in Chicago when the UFC comes to town. As it is, he fucking very well might, because he'll still pack people into the prelim fights. Yeah, but
I don't think
know,
so.
man.
After that fight, no, because
look,
it's not like Mike Jackson was putting combinations together. He was hitting him one punch at a time, and every single punch was landing.
It's the type of fight where it makes you feel bad. Like, you and I have both been in those situations. I think I've been on both ends of that, where I've been fighting some guy that I have no business fighting in a bad way, and I've been in situations where I've been the one giving that out, and I look around, I'm like, how did this tournament shake out? Why am I beating the shit out of this guy? I don't even have to string combinations together. What am I doing? And it's, except, I wasn't getting paid for it because I was stupid and, did all my fighting for free and fun. So it's like, you're looking and you're like, what the hell is going on? When you're able to hit them with whatever the hell you want to hit them with, and it's not a personal issue, like, you start to kind of feel like, yo, what's going on here? It's never good. You've been in those too, Tommy. Come on, man. You're like, wait a second. Like, I need to not,
It was, look, and everybody's like, I give respect for it. No, I don't.
No.
You know why I don't?
No, I don't.
Because you give somebody that kind of money. Now, it's not WWE money, but it's still a lot of fucking money. He doesn't have a regular job. So that's his dream, to be a fighter. Well, you know what? There's a lot of people out there whose dream it is to be a fighter. A lot of them. Here's the problem they don't have. A, they might not have the money to be able to go somewhere and train. Or B, they might not have the ability to quit a job and train like he trains. Now, look at some of the guys that we've talked to on this show, like Matt Delanoy, who, he works for a construction company. He's able to do that and train. Not everybody has that ability. And if he was fighting in the UFC, I don't think he would be working a regular job. So if you give somebody that opportunity, if they're going to fight in the UFC and get paid that kind of money, they're going to focus 24 hours a day on their training, 2-a-days, doing what they have to do. So it's very hard for me to be like, I got all this respect for him for stepping in there and doing it, because any regular asshole, you offer them that kind of money to go fight in the UFC, even if they know they're going to lose, they're going to do it just for the experience, to say that they did it. I have more respect for the guy that is on the undercard killing himself and happy to be on the undercard because he's fighting for the UFC. This guy's getting a first spot on a main card, on a pay-per-view. Nah.
He's taking money and he's taking opportunities out of people's mouths, and and as I said, I think to toot my own horn here, I responded, I think, and you were in that thread. I responded the way I was thinking I would handle this sort of question on the show today. When somebody said, hey, listen, I'm happy that he even made it and he went out there and blah, 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 like, you kind of giving him like the rah-rah everyman sort of thing. And we're in lockstep here, Tommy. Like, once you get to the big show, like, you're going to be made fun of if you suck. Why? Because it's the big fucking show, all right? This is the major leagues. This isn't, walk-on T-ball practice ball here. Like, it's the actual major leagues of fighting. So, you get on here, you suck. I'm going to say you do. And I'm respectful of all fighters. They're tougher than I am. They're better than me in terms of, like, they went out there and did it. So I get that, right? But as a critic, as a commentator, if you put up a fucking terrible performance like that, on top of making the sort of money you're making. On top of knocking down somebody else, potentially making a little extra cheddar off of some pay-per-view residuals here, hey, who knows? The only saving grace for the whole situation that I can really see is I was talking to a couple guys at the gym the other day, and they're like, listen, you know what? Maybe some guys might enjoy the fact that he was on the card, to boost visibility and maybe ride that CM Punk effect. Like you said, though, I think this might be the last one that he does for a while or forever. I don't, unless it's Chicago. They still give Don Fry fights, all right? If he wanted them. They still give
here's my
Dan Severn
thing.
Fights if he wants.
Here's my
I want to
thing
see
on
him.
it. If he even had 3 amateur fights and then they put him in the UFC. If he actually made an attempt to go a right route, I would have respect for him. But he didn't. He didn't put the time. Just because you put the training time in, there's people that that train at Madama that, they work from home and they come in and train twice a day. I don't see them trying to get in the UFC. And I'll say this right now. If this show blows up to where we don't have to work anymore, I'll put my hat in that ring. I'll say, Dana, I want to fight in the UFC. I could bring you X amount of tickets. We have a successful show. I'll come in there. And I want to hear somebody say that they have their same respect for me, who never went through the amateurs, never went through anything, just had some Brazilian jiu-jitsu training, just like CM Punk.
Well, I would, but I'm a friend, so.
It's one of the. It's one of the few times I'll ever agree with Nate Diaz. One of the few times.
Oh,
well, I love
Jesus.
basketball, but I can't go play in the NBA.
Yeah. As much as I wanna be one of the guys in the upcoming World Cup, I can't walk on and play. Well, I mean, maybe I could play for the U.S. They didn't even make it this time, but I couldn't make the Ecuadorian soccer fucking team. I couldn't.
Roberto just said the UFC had their very first Ami fight on pay-per-view.
For real. No, Roberto is 1,000% correct, and I'm glad if that's a route they want to go, and really expand. They don't have a farm league. The UFC is really kind of missing out on the whole professional development as a sports league without the farm system there. But good God, bro, like it was terrible. I bamboozled my girl to watch these fights. We ordered them, paid for them, and she was like, "Yo, this is the one that they do to kick it off." Like, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
And that's just her being around watching fights with me, and like being around people at the gym. You could name, without breaking a sweat, Tommy, 10 people at Madama Jiu-Jitsu that would beat the shit out of CM Punk. I could name 10 people from the Black Hole Network that would take CM Punk behind the woodshed and beat him harder than Pedro Martinez beat the shit out of Don Zimmer back in the day. And I love Don Zimmer.
You could go to Rahway State Penitentiary and find 10 guys that would beat the shit out of him inside there.
I mean, that's a step up. We're talking. I didn't know we were going prison rules. All right, that got a little serious here. But dude, come on, man. I know that not 14-year-old. She's older now. Like the 17-year-old purple belt that I keep telling you about. This girl Amanda Bruce, she could beat the shit out of the CM Punk. I'm just dead serious with that triangle ridiculousness that I saw. Him just throwing him up from Hades, and trying to triangle him from Australia. He went to Robert Whittaker's home and tried to throw his hips from that far back to try to triangle some poor sweaty bastard in Mike Jackson. I don't know. Wakanda forever, though, right? I mean, at least we got treated to that. Dude with a black power tattoo. And bro, I'm all about, me, I bust your balls on the whole race relations thing, this, that, and the third, but I don't, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah. Roberto just said bum fights are more exciting, and you're damn right.
You are. I mean, I would watch bum fights, or I would watch Faces of Death before I watched that fight again. And I always felt dirty watching Faces of Death. Right? That's a shout out to the old
it's
school.
like I said to Jency. It's like I said to Jency Saturday night. You could have picked 2 drunk assholes in the stands, and they could have put on a Don Fry Takayama fight for 5 minutes before they puked all over the cage, and it would have been a hell of a lot more impressive than that
Tommy, the
15-minute fuckery.
You and me for charity would put on a more technical display, all right? We wouldn't even be trying to kill each other. But for charity, we'd be more technical. Think about that, all right? I sit at a desk for most of my fucking day. And I still think I dust off the cobwebs and at least throw a fucking triangle up the right way.
Yeah, well,
I swear to God.
Look, man, I think we've wasted enough breath on the UFC's first amateur fight. So, I mean, who knows what they're doing
Shout out
with
to
Mike
Roberto,
Jackson.
man. That was clutch.
Yeah.
That was honestly what happened.
Who knows what they're doing with Mike Jackson and CM Punk? I mean, it's good that you didn't have to go too far to go home. Stay home, sit on that pile of money that you saved from when you were in
that
WWE.
Scrooge McDuck pile of cash. He doesn't have a drug problem. He doesn't drink, supposedly, so he actually has all his money. I'm kind of jealous.
Stay at home with your wife, AJ Lee, make babies, and just ride off into the sunset. And please don't ever let us see you in a combat sport again.
Gracie breakdown. Do a couple Gracie breakdowns with Henner, right?
Show us how you could throw up a triangle on someone who's waffling your face.
You took it. I lobbed it up. You smashed it.
So let's jump onto something that is actually interesting.
Like a real fight? Okay.
Tai Tuivasa and Andrei Arlovski. Wow.
Oh my Lord. Jesus Christ.
What a fight. Did you see Arlovski's nose afterwards? It's on the other side of his face.
No. Back it up. Did you see Arlovski's nose in the pre-fight tape? What the fuck was that? He had an L-shaped nose when he was hyping the fight, bro. Like, that was... What commission let him go into that right there? Like, did he...
Well, it wasn't
is he
New
that
York,
ugly?
that's for sure.
Yeah, no way. Are you kidding me? Like, I got sinus trouble looking at his pre-fight reel. It was awful, bro. And then after, I saw the picture. We're both thinking about the same picture, right? Where he has the cotton stuffed up his nose.
Yeah.
And fucking,
what is that cotton really doing? That side of your nose is completely crushed.
Yeah. You know what you need? You need the War Master to come in with 2 pens and stuff them in your nose and straighten that out like he did to a poor gentleman that came to his gym one day. That's a great YouTube video. Look that
club. Yeah.
The
CrossFit
right?
that hurt his
That's
nose
what it
from the
was.
bar.
Yep. And I was like, oh, Christ. And you hear the wet snap, but what the fuck? You said it best, Tommy. What type of witch doctor medicine granted our boy his chin back? The fuck?
I don't know, because that fight was holy shit.
Right?
That fight should have opened the show.
For sure.
That fight should have opened the show because it was just back and forth. I mean, Tai Tuivasa is amazing. He really is. Do I see him winning a belt? Maybe.
You know what I see him doing? I see him being the first fighter to fight with no pants on and nobody notices. All right? Those tattoos are fucking legit as all get out. All right? I was blinking a bunch of times being like, yo, has he got a rash guard on under there? Is that like, what the fuck is going on? I want to see it happen. I want to see how far those tattoos go. Just for curiosity's sake. No homo. No. But, it's wild.
Oh, this just took a fucking left turn.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, Ty was... He gave as good as he got. He doesn't beat a prime Arlovski, but then again, a prime Arlovski never had the chin that fucking old man Arlovski has. That chin's actually improved. What the fuck? I don't
maybe a lifestyle change. Maybe a lifestyle change. Maybe he's not sparring anymore.
Could be.
I don't know.
He Stella got his groove back, baby. He did.
He doesn't look done. That's for sure.
No,
his career
he was in
over.
it. No, he was. I would love to see him if they ever do that tournament. I can get him some feng shui and some acupuncture for that shoulder, and then straighten his nose out. Let him go.
I would kind of wanted to see him try and get it to the ground. But,
Yeah.
you know what? He doesn't want to be involved in a boring fight. It's either he's going to get knocked out or he's going to knock you out. I respect it. I really do. I respect
He could have stolen
to the
every
fullest.
round, though, with a takedown here or there, no?
He could have.
Right?
I think he definitely could have.
Yeah.
Because who knows how good Tuivasa's takedown defense is. And, you know, Arlovsky does have Sambo.
That Sambo's no joke. I always...
No.
And he's been good at Sambo for a long time. He was tremendous at Sambo, but I mean he just likes putting fucking leather on people, man. He just fell in love with it. You know, he doesn't like. It's not a lot of high kicks in his game either, so it's really like a boxing centric type of fight game, man. But what a waste, you know.
Yeah, I mean it was one hell of a fight. I kind of wouldn't mind them seeing them throw Tai Tuivasa and maybe Curtis Blades, because they're Tai Tuivasa's undefeated.
No way.
He's undefeated.
No way.
If they're not going to do the Blades Ngannou fight, you know, you got to give Tuivasa another big name. I mean,
Curtis, if you're listening to
upon
us
a time...
right now, and I know you are because you're an alum of the show, don't take that fight. There's nothing.
Why?
Come on, man. Because you and I know who Tai Tuivasa is right now. He fought Andrei Arlovsky the other day, but yes, we're the only people that know it. You know what the most impressive, like long-lasting memory I'll have of that night, as good as the fight was? The casual fan. You tell me what they're gonna remember the most out of that situation. Take a guess.
No, you tell me.
Drinking from a fucking shoe. All right,
yeah.
That's what's gonna stick with people. That's disgusting. I nearly threw up and had diarrhea while watching it. I was like, oh, ay. Oh, my Lord.
I love how Joe Rogan shut him down. Nope, I got to walk around in that thing.
Yeah. No, because it's... And you know what's funny? He did it like 4 times or 3 times on the way back to his... Like, how the... That man is impervious to modern illnesses. I'll give him that much. Maybe it's the tattoos. You never know.
I sure hope nobody had athlete's foot.
Oh, dude, athlete's foot's the least of your worries. I would at least like some sort of fungus that I could identify. What else lives in people's shoes that have been on their feet, jumping up and down, sweating, being nasty and gross, walking around Chicago streets to get into the venue, and then you're there for 2 hours, 2.5 hours at that point, right? Like, you got fucking foot AIDS, much less athlete's foot, man. And he's just like, yeah, no, if I spit in it, it's fine. No, bro. And it's not like it's hard alcohol. That shit's not killing anything that's in those shoes. All right? That's like, what, a Miller Lite that they charge you $45 for? Right? It has an ABV of like -6. It's not doing a fucking thing to anything that's in that footwear.
Well,
all right?
Do you know what that does, though? That makes him a fan favorite.
Yeah, but
makes him
Curtis,
a name.
No, but Curtis, it does nothing for Curtis's career to beat the shit out of that guy. Because you know what? I have it. You know, I'll put $50 against a $20 bill that Curtis is able to take him down at will, and that does fucking nothing. It does nothing for either career.
Well, I think so
all right?
too. But look, we're talking about the UFC here.
That's true. We just talked about CM Punk. We just talked about CM Punk on the on a pay-per-view. So anything is possible. You're right. Jesus.
Yeah, but not to take anything away. That was one hell of a fight, and to me, that was the opener. CM Punk and Mike Jackson were on the prelims that, for some reason, they went over time on the FS1 prelims and just stuck it on the pay-per-view there. So
bro,
that was,
all right,
that was
Wakanda forever.
Opener.
All right, take that in your pipe and smoke it. Wakanda forever.
Okay.
Right.
So we touched on this fight a little bit earlier. Pale Megan Anderson and Holly Holm. I mean, look, dude, Holly Holm, from what they said, had never had a takedown. Had never had a takedown or any kind of top game in any of the fights that she's had in the UFC. And Megan Anderson made her look like a goddamn wrestling champion and a jiu-jitsu savant in that fight. I mean, it wasn't even close.
If she hadn't straightened her hair, she would have looked like Ben Askren in that fight. Like if she had let her hair be wild and frilly and just let it natural, like she looked like fucking Keenan Cornelius rolled in there and they told him that Megan Anderson was married to a Brazilian referee. And that's a little inside jiu-jitsu joke for all you guys out there. I know Tommy knows what I'm throwing down, but that was fucking terrible display on Megan's part. Terrible.
And all that did was completely kill her chances at ever getting a Cyborg fight because it wouldn't even be interesting.
They're not going to put her back in the country. She looks sickly, all right? She has rickets. Okay? Like she's going to get stopped at customs next time and be put in quarantine. We have a caller though. I'm going to throw him on real quick here. Give me 2 seconds, Tommy. Hey caller, you're on.
Why the fuck are you busting on Megan Anderson?
Oh, we got Tyler King on the line.
I was hoping. I missed you, brother. Oh.
I miss you guys too.
What do you mean?
Why are you guys ripping on Megan? Why are you ripping on Megan
whiter
so
than you
bad?
are, Tyler. That's why. First and foremost, Tyler. And Tyler, you white as fuck.
First of all, she's not a human being. She's like a hybrid for fucking Underworld, dude. She's like some sort of creature.
I swear.
She's a creature. She's a
well, maybe
hemoglobin.
Maybe she needs to go out in the sunlight and go to Brazil and learn some ground training or something because she made Holly Holm look like a wrestling god. It was awesome.
All right, listen. I'll say this though. While Holly is known for her striking, she's a fucking world champion. Dude, she trains at Jackson. The woman knows jiu-jitsu, you know? Like, she trains with the highest level guys. Not the highest level girls. The highest level guys on the regular. I'm sure she's got a ground game, you know? And Megan, Megan's a giant. Megan is just humongous. Holy shit.
What the
isn't she?
Well, I mean, so was Goliath, and David beat him with a rock, according to the Bible. So, come on.
A Bible reference?
Tyler, yo. Do we believe anything in the Bible anymore?
Tyler, yeah, yo, school your boy here. A fucking Bible reference? God damn it.
I mean, the smaller opponent did win, and if you see Megan Anderson against Cyborg now, do you honestly give Megan Anderson a shot after seeing what she's got? No.
Well, they're obviously not going to make that fight now. The thing was, Megan was coming from Invicta, and I have nothing but respect for all the females in Invicta, but it's just not the same caliber of fighter as the UFC. Cyborg was in Invicta, and I think she had 5 fights with something like 8 minutes of cage time. It was something stupid like that. So Megan was a destroyer over there, you know. I mean, hate to bring it up, but Megan beat down a really close personal friend of mine, Peggy Morgan, in under a round, a UFC veteran. So Megan ain't no slouch, but Holly has been second best in the world at 135 and 145 for quite some time. So, I mean, and Holly positioned herself for the Cyborg rematch, which, as far as female fights right now, that's the money fight.
No, Nunes and Cyborg's the money fight.
I agree with you. No, what I'm saying is, yes, that's true, but Cyborg is the money fight. No one cares about Nunes, even though she beat up Ronda Rousey. No one really cares about her if Cyborg was involved. I mean, that's a thing, right, guys? Am I right?
Well,
100%.
what I could see happening is, because when she did her little post-fight speech, she said to Joe Rogan she wants to go back and regain, her title. So do they make Holly Holm Amanda Nunes now, or do they make Nunes fight Cyborg first? Because Cyborg's already said when she's done with the UFC, she's going to go to boxing. So she's already got one foot out the door. There's nobody at 45 that's going to put her out there. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, we all know she's going to do Zuffa boxing, and they're going to promote the hell out of it. And that will probably be a pretty smart play because she'll get more money, she'll be vicious. But we've also seen what happens with Cyborg. They'll give her favorable matchups in Zuffa boxing, but we see what happens when Cyborg gets put in there with a pure striker, or do you not remember the Jarena Bars fight?
True.
Well, maybe if they do that Zuffa
Damn.
boxing, maybe they could get some steroids from Julian Edelman, and then we'll make it one hell of a fight.
Oh, wow.
The low blow. The low blow. Easy.
Come on. Tommy, what the? Seriously. Like,
that was a low blow right there.
Calling in. He's helping us out here, and you gotta shit on him for fucking, what the?
Listen, why are you shitting on my Eskimo brother? Why are you shitting on my Eskimo brother?
Wait a second.
You know that.
Yikes! I'm not touching that one. And God bless Tyler.
But yeah, man. I mean, whatever shine she did have coming in, because that's all anybody wanted to see was Cyborg and Megan Anderson. She's the best test for Cyborg. After seeing that fight, nope. Like, well, she's just fighting again. It's Invicta. She's not fighting the same caliber of fighters. I mean, some of them are like Megan was one of those savages in that league. I mean, it's just not the same, I mean, but the other thing is, 145 is such a thin division. That's the other thing. It really is. So I mean, who is there at 145 in the UFC? There's the lady that beat, I can't remember her name, the Dutch woman that beat Holly for the belt.
Jermaine
Anderson. Yeah, Jermaine Duran, and Cyborg. And is there anyone else? Everyone else that fought Cyborg is a blown up 135.
Yeah.
It's every single time. Well, I can't remember her name. The really, really tough woman. I can't remember her name.
No,
she was
Tanya Evinger?
Yeah, Tanya
yeah.
Evinger. Tanya Evinger was the 135 champion in Invicta. I mean, she's a beast.
I think Mackenzie could make the weight, Tyler. I think Mackenzie could make 145 if she's disciplined. I think Mackenzie Dern, right? Isn't she? Hasn't she missed weight?
She could bulk up. She could bulk up. Get after it.
She keeps. Yeah, I'm telling you, she's going that direction with her weigh-in.
She'd still come in heavy. She'd still come in heavy.
Squats. She could do some squats. She could do some squats. Bulk up.
Tyler's like, I'd watch that YouTube. I'd watch the bulking.
Oh, would you? Would you? Just watch Mackenzie Dern just like stuff, like grass-fed burgers. Grass-fed burgers and like just freaking sweet potatoes.
Tenquinho's just crying in the corner, just like, yo, I lost it. Yo. Oh, Christ.
While we have one of MMA's best shit talkers on the line right now, let's talk about Colby Where's the Chaos Covington and the RDA fight.
Listen, making MMA great again. Making MMA great again.
What was great about that fight? For as much shit as he talked, RDA was in that fight until the final fucking bell. That was a pathetic showing on Covington's part.
Okay, yes, exactly. Because it's fucking RDA. RDA is not an easy out for anybody. And Colby's fought some savages, but that was like I think that was his biggest test by far. And listen,
I give a good pat on the back for a guy spider monkey humping RDA, for a good portion of the fight. Oh God, he imposed his skill set. Whoa, what do you want, please.
man?
Well, then don't talk the shit. Then don't talk the shit that you talk.
He's also a college wrestler.
Yeah, but you can't talk the kind of shit that he talks and come out with that kind of performance.
Talk all the shit you want. Get the W. Boom. Fucking boom.
Yeah.
Did you ever get mad about when Chael Sonnen did it? Did you get mad about when Chael Sonnen did it?
Well, Chael either, lost or at least made it somewhat exciting. That wasn't exciting. It wasn't.
I mean,
RDA was hitting him with good shots.
All right. Fight with Bisping. How do you win? Fucking wrestle him. Fight with Brian Stan. How do you win? Took him down, submitted him.
At least he finished. He went for a finish. Kobe wasn't trying to go for a finish.
RDA is a high-level black belt. He's hard to finish.
The friggin' Khabib fight was more interesting than that one. The Khabib fight was more interesting than that.
Yikes.
Well, Reggie Allen quit to the fucking
Tyler.
goddamn wow, man. Oh, what?
Come on,
but that
Tyler.
was 1 day's notice. That was 1 day's notice. Listen, I actually enjoyed the fight. I loved it. I enjoyed the shit talking afterwards. Granted, I was at the bar with a really attractive lady, but still, I enjoyed the fight.
To me, it just didn't live up to the hype that he was building. Like, you know, with his terrible model actresses, and it was just. Listen, I was on the conference call.
A, God bless him. B,
listen.
B. What did it set the stage for? What did it set the stage for? What did it set the stage for?
Tyron Woodley to beat the ever-loving shit
Yeah,
out of him.
they're already going back and forth. It's already good.
Oh, dude, Tyron on Instagram, as soon as the fight was over.
I saw. I
was on that conference call, the press conference with him and RDA. I don't know if you listened to it, but all the shit that he was saying he was going to do, he didn't do any of it. The only thing that he did was just wrestle hump him. That's it.
I mean,
and RDA was still getting up.
He took him down. They exchanged. He took him down. It's fucking MMA. It's not kickboxing. You're fighting the top fucking. What's Colby? 4, 3, fight number 1. Fuck, man. You win.
I don't like
any way you can.
I don't like him.
Okay,
Omar doesn't like him.
Okay, you don't have to like him. You don't have to like him. But as Dale said, A, are you gonna watch? B, there's two check marks. Who's name got checked the end of the fight? Fucking Colby's. The end.
It was just, I don't know, because RDA was in that fight until the very end. Because, you know, you heard the commentators.
Of course he was. He found new undetectable steroids. He found new undetectable steroids, and he was in it till the end. Oh, boy, what? Oh, boy, what?
Maybe the New England Patriots should get in touch with RDA's trainers to get some of that.
They probably should.
No.
They probably should. They probably should. Fucking Julian. Why are you doing this to me, pal? Goddamn. Brady's favorite target. What the fuck? And he's my
it's just
brother.
hard
what
for me,
fuck?
dude. It really is. It's just hard for me to sit there and be like, wow, he really impressed. Like, it didn't. It didn't. What he did not impress me. What he did was what everybody complains about with Ryan Bader, that they were saying that's all Ryan Bader did. Well, Colby Covington did the same exact thing. He did the same thing.
All right. What's Colby done in his other fight? Colby a one-trick pony? No, he's not. He did what he had to do to win the fucking belt.
I don't know, man. Get outstruck by Damian Maia? That's pretty bad. That's pretty bad to get outstruck by Damian Maia.
He did what he had to do to win the belt.
That's not a belt. That's not a belt.
Hey.
It's a participation trophy.
The money that he wins, the pay-per-view points that he will get now, say that's a belt. You do what you got to do to win.
Well, okay, you're saying the pay-per-view points that he'll get now because CM Punk made more money than him in this last outing by $300,000.
God bless America. God bless America for that. Jesus Christ.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
Listen,
Tyler's walking around with his Make America Great hat on right now.
Dude. All right. I'm sure you guys already talked about it, but, like, here's the thing I'm most staggered with about CM Punk. Your job for 2 years was to train. You're a high-level pro wrestler, so you have some athletic ability. All you did for the past 2 years is train. And that's still it. Holy fuck, man. Like,
you know why, Tyler? Because he never had amateur fights. When you cut your teeth, you learn how to adapt to situations. You don't learn by getting smokers coming into your gym. That's not a real fight. You know that.
I mean,
it's a joke. It's a travesty.
Like,
and I was at the Ring of Combat. I was at the Ring of Combat event Friday night. I saw 5 guys who have a better shot in the UFC than CM Punk did. And a few of those guys actually lost. A few of those guys actually lost, but they would have put on a better show.
That makes sense. No. Like, well, that's a Ring of Combat show. Like, of course, you have like good fighters in a Ring of Combat show, but I mean, he had one of the best trainers in the game for 2 years at his disposal, pretty much. Like, training with best guys in the world, man. Like, you couldn't learn. You didn't have the ability, like, transfer any of that. It's just kind of mind-blowing. And Mike Jackson ain't much, man. He really ain't much. And you couldn't raise his game enough to compete with that guy. Like, I know guys that aren't very good that I train with who have improved more than CM Punk has in 2 years, you know? Like, that's just the crazy thing to me. Are you that unathletic, or did you shit your pants that bad under the lights? I mean, what was it?
He's 900 years old.
It's that, and I just don't, he wasn't a high school wrestler. You know, he has no combat sports background whatsoever other than training jiu-jitsu, like Omar said, you know, from Henner over the computer.
Yeah. He's got his technical movement, right?
I have a student that trained to like one of the Gracie University accredited schools, and
yikes.
The head instructor has a fucking purple belt. Just pissed me the fuck off, but whatever.
I don't have my purple belt. God damn it, that pisses me off. What the fuck, yo?
Well, you're not a head instructor at a Gracie school though. Come on, bud. Actually, I've heard of schools that are like blue belts. Anyway.
No. I agree. I'm pissed that he has his purple. I'm agreeing with you, Tyler. Like I know it's fugazi. You know.
Wait, CM Punk has his purple. Oh yeah. Anyway,
no, he's a. I think maybe he's a blue belt. I think
he's a 5-stripe white belt. I think. I mean, he got the
oh God. I mean, God bless him. He shot a shot. He used his name to. He was the first celebrity to like really use his name. That's what he was. At the end of the day, he wasn't an athlete. He was a celebrity. He used a celebrity to. It was actually a pretty good story, and it made some money for the UFC. He made some money for himself, so he probably like cushioned himself a little bit. That's hopefully invested his money well. But hey, man, God bless you. You gave it a shot. Don't shoot your face for a while.
Yeah,
I mean that's what I said to
Omar. I said to Omar, I really do. I hope it blows up to the point where Omar and I don't ever have to work. And I want to call Dana and say, hey, you know what, Dana? I want to be a UFC fighter too. I want to be a fighter too. I'll take 2 years of my time and train. I'll do it. That's it. That's what it takes. All it needs is a name. That's all you need. A name, and then UFC, will give you a shot. That's bullshit.
All right. Well, CM was one of the. He is, but CM also was one of the biggest names in WWE, and there is precedent here. Pride won, sir.
That's true.
Pride won.
Yeah.
Like
Japan appreciates that a wee bit more than we do.
Yeah, I know. So, but like, no, you do have a point, but there is precedent, and hey, you fucking watched, didn't you? At the end of the day,
I didn't pay for shit.
But I didn't pay for it either. I went to a bar where they know me and they let me in, so they don't make me pay cover. Like, my gym has like event, like we send people there, whatever. So I didn't pay for it either. But you were watching, and a lot of people paid for it. That probably did over 1 million buys. It probably did do over. It probably did over 1 million buys. He's gonna make a lot of money. CM Punk's saying, man.
It's not right. It's not right to these guys who are busting their ass on smaller organizations. Like I've always said, it's just not right. It's not.
Well,
and to make the money that he made, that makes it even more not right.
You watch, though. That's the thing. This isn't the fair business. This isn't the let's do what's right business. It's let's make fucking money business. It is like, is that not what it is?
Doesn't mean I have to accept it though.
All right. Let me ask you this: you guys obviously listen. You guys have a podcast. You have a podcast. You listen to other podcasts. You ever remember when Rogan was talking about? Well, if they really want to make money, they would have done Floyd Mayweather versus CM Punk. How you would have paid to watch that? You fucking kidding me? Come on.
No, I still wouldn't have paid for it.
That'd be a fight he could maybe win. He might be able to win that one, I think.
I know, right? Isn't it crazy? Yes, but
he could clinch.
I'm sure if everyone got together and everyone would make a fuck ton of money, like that fight could have happened. And Dana would be, yep, I'll do it. Fuck yeah, I'll do it. And Dana would pull the shit out of it.
CM Punk was getting down to 140-something pounds.
They could have done it at 160. Yeah.
But man, it's Floyd Mayweather. You go by Floyd Mayweather's rules. He was going to suck CM Punk down to where he looked like a Holocaust victim. That's the only way that
55.
fight would happen.
CM Punk, let's talk about that though. All the ranting about CM Punk and training and shit, how the fuck were you still so fat, kid? Like, what the fuck?
That's a big thing, too. He was looking
train? Do you even train? Like,
he looks
do you even train? Drop to 55. Yeah. Find a shitty 55er. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, why are you fat? Why are you fat? Why do you have a belly? Dude, I'm 240 pounds. I'm shred city. I train a lot. I lift a lot. I eat okay. Like, what the fuck? How are you still fat? Is your metabolism that bad? Were you eating like what? So is he vegan? Is he vegetarian? Like, is that like that's the like? Was he eating pasta? Like, what the fuck was happening there? Guys, shed some light. I don't know what to think here.
I don't know.
This is crazy.
I don't know.
Crazy.
CM Punk. I can't believe this is amazing.
Well, let's keep on with the fat shaming trend.
Okay.
And Yoel Romero swings and misses at another belt for coming in overweight. Now, that was the same press conference that I was on with Kobe. And the first thing that one of these journalists asked him was, how is your weight? Are you going to come in on weight? And his response was, in perfect English, mind you, I've been doing this my whole life, and I've only missed weight a couple times. Well, he just missed weight on the biggest opportunity of his career. I don't look at an interim belt as the biggest opportunity of a guy's career. He missed weight on this one. There is no possible way Dana White and the UFC should give him another shot at that belt, no matter how amazing of a performance that fight was, which it was. It was unbelievable. But all that promotion that they put into this fight for being a championship fight, and he blew it. He blew it.
Well, most likely, we're going to have a vacancy at 205. So they could give him the number one contender fight and fast track him to a title shot at 205 versus Gustafsson, because I would definitely watch that fight.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I would watch it too, man. And I'm upset that he missed weight because, honestly, the fight was amazing.
Yeah.
But it meant nothing. No matter what, Whitaker was walking away with that belt.
It did not mean nothing, or who the fuck knows? Remember the whole thing with Al and Quinta? Well, if Al wins, he's not going to be. And they was like, no, he's going to be the champion. They want to figure something out. At the end of the day, I hear you saying, but the UFC doesn't. Their title isn't dependent on athletic commissions. They can give that belt who they want to, and Whitaker might have surrendered it. He might not have. Dana might have ordered an immediate rematch. Who the fuck knows? But at the end of the day, the UFC can kind of do what they want with the belt.
Yeah, but you can't. And Dana especially is not going to applaud unprofessionalism. The Ally and Quinta situation was different because he wasn't going in there for a title fight. You know what I mean? All he had to do was take his shorts off, and he was good to go. They made Romero stop trying to make weight. So he was that far, you know what I mean? He was that far gone. And,
he was that far gone. He was that far gone. No, he wasn't. He came in 0.2 over.
Yeah, but they made him stop losing weight. They let Andrei Arlovski fight with his nose on the other side of his face.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean, that's athletic commissions and weight cuts, and they're fucking conscious of that shit this day and age. They gave him 2 hours, wherever the fuck. I mean, they could have given him another hour, and he probably would have made weight, but I mean, like, this day and age, they're, like, really cutting back on, well, I don't want to say cutting back on, but they're trying to be more restrictive with weight cuts. So what California's doing, they have the second weigh-in. Day of the fight, you have to be within a certain, percentage of, like, your weigh-in weight. Like, you can't gain too much back, something along those lines. So they're trying to be better about it, like the athletic commission and such. So, I mean, it's not like he was that far gone. I mean, he's an Olympic fucking athlete. It's not his first rodeo, you know. I don't think and I didn't watch a lot of the footage. He didn't seem distressed, you know.
No, well, I'm glad that you talked about the weight thing, because after we're done talking about this fight, I want to talk about Dana's ridiculous comments that have been made in the past week and a half. But, you know, going back to this fight, I mean, it was amazing. It really was an amazing fight.
Yeah.
You know, Whitaker broke his hand in the first round. And let me ask you something, Tyler. Let me ask you something, because you're a fighter.
Yeah.
Whitaker seems to have this black cloud over his head that he just constantly gets hurt. I mean, now it's now it's his hand. At what point do you think this guy's body is just going to completely break down? Because he's already had this calf problem. You know, what do you think is going to happen?
I think so. It's a bit early to tell. He's what? Is he even 30 yet? He's like 28, right? So he's 28.
Yeah, 27.
I think he's got a bright future. Like, it's a rough sport. You take some lumps. I mean, my elbows are pulpy as can be. It just is what it is. But I mean, I don't think he has like a huge injury bug or anything like that. So he said, he has a staph problem. He broke his hand in a fight. Everyone breaks their hands in fights, you know? It's like one of the most common injuries with those 4-ounce gloves.
I don't know. It's just one thing after another with this poor guy. I mean, he's a god. I love watching him fight. He's as game as they possibly come.
He is fun. And he's fun. And he's like a good dude. And like him and his family, like, you know, the picture of his family was really like kind of got me in the feels a little bit. But I mean, and he can fight his fucking ass off. He's beaten the Ninja Turtle twice. So I mean, god damn, he's special.
Do you think he won that fight, Whitaker?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
you do think so?
Especially, I was watching it. I couldn't tell. I was like, my attention was on someone a little bit too. So like, whatever. But like watching it, like when they showed the CompuScore score, it made a lot of sense. The rounds because like now that I thought about it, sorry about that, guys. I lost my headphones there.
There you go.
Anyway, what I was gonna say was the rounds Yoel won, he fucking ran away with, right? Like just volume punching. I think that kind of gave people a little bit of a misconception about who won the fight, you know? Because I think, yeah, but like, yeah, that's true. How many was it?
He knocked him down quite a few times. I mean,
yeah,
I know early on he knocked him down a lot.
All right, I'll tell you right. I will be 100% honest right now. I just looked at the CompuBox score and I said, okay, makes sense. You go out like all high volume. I didn't go back and look at how many of those were like 10-7 versus 10-9. I mean, with knockdowns, I guess you have a couple 10-8s, but you talk about interpretation of the rules too, man. Like some of these judges, like they have I think it was under the new rules, so they might be looking more. Even the rounds where Whitaker got knocked down, it's not like he got freaking trounced, you know. It's not like he was getting like just absolutely like demolished. I mean, he was still landing shit and like he was in the fight. So like, I didn't look at any of those rounds. I was like, oh shit, Whitaker got dominated. He might have got hit a lot more, but he never got dominated. He was always in the fight. Like, so, just depends on the judge's interpretation.
What do you think, Omar?
I just want to see it again. I know you don't want to, but I want to see it again. I want to see Yoel fight again. It's his pleasure.
It's such a tough sell though. That's the problem. It's such a tough sell because Whitaker's won twice now, and you all misweight one of them too. So it's a tough sell. That's the problem. Like, and that's pretty much it. It's not 1-1. It's 2-0. But I mean, UFC likes to make money, so we'll see.
Well, who else in the middleweight division? I mean,
fight in Cuba.
Sure.
Yeah.
But in the middleweight division, Dana White had, he threw a ton of shade at Kelvin Gastelum, said that he had some things to work out. I don't know what that was in reference to.
Maybe it's contract negotiations.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the thing,
and then you have Chris Weidman waiting in the wings.
Yeah, well, Weidman. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you have Weidman. Yeah, I think, to tell you the truth, I think the man's Gastelum. I really I think he probably has a contract negotiation coming up. And you look at Kelvin. I mean, he's kind of burst on the scene. He's lost one UFC fight, right?
Well, at middleweight, he lost to Weidman.
Weidman, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So so that's the only fight he's lost is Weidman. What's his record at middleweight now? Like 6-1, 5-1.
Yeah, something. It's up there, man. He's been doing work at middleweight. I'd like to see him. Compete.
So what's the option? So you look at it, and they probably don't want to do a fucking another interim belt. So they could. It's either a number one contenders match or an interim belt between Kelvin and Weidman, right? That's what you gotta do.
Yeah,
two big names.
Or you just make them two fight for a title eliminator. I could see the UFC doing that.
Yeah, they'll probably do that.
Yeah, it's just weird. Because who knows how long? Because Whitaker broke his hand pretty goddamn bad.
Yeah,
if you look at that picture,
Whitaker's probably out till end of the year at the very least.
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
And you have Weidman coming back. Yeah, well, Weidman's coming back from I think a hand injury. And like you said, Kelvin with the contract negotiation. So maybe they could do that. I don't know, but I mean, maybe 205 would be good for Romero. I know he's a little bit short for that division, but I don't see too many guys at 205 that can handle his explosiveness and his wrestling.
I mean,
not really.
The fight I want to see, but I think the fight that makes most sense would be him and Gus.
I would honestly love to see that. I think he puts Gus
crazy. Whoa.
He'll throw Gus. Well, can he even get close to Gus though?
That's a big if.
You know why I think he will? Just because for how stocky he is and how big he is fucking fast. And I think if he gets on the inside and hits him with a shot like to the ribs just to be able to get in close, they'll be able to take him down. Because he's got to be the same size as DC height-wise.
Nah, I know
he's fast. I know he's fast.
He's shorter, I think. I think he's shorter.
Okay, well, think about this though. I mean, DC didn't. I mean, I think DC, because he's shorter, they will do better wrestling-wise against Gus. But Gus ain't no slouch wrestling. He kept. I mean, granted, that was probably like a bit of a depleted Jones, but he kept shrugging off Jones' takedowns.
I don't know. It's an interesting one, and maybe it's something that Dana White, puts up to Yoel now since he's missed weight twice in a row and both for a title. But, Tyler, we're talking about weight here, and I know that you saw Dana White's comment in the middle of the week that they're thinking about taking away the early weigh-ins. I think that is a terrible idea. Now that the UFC does not do the IVs, if you take away those early weigh-ins, you don't give these guys enough time to properly hydrate. And
dude, everyone's still doing IVs. This whole fucking shit. Yeah. Yes. Everyone's still doing IVs. There's no two ways around it. If they really did have a test that could detect that you taking an IV, I'm sure they found a way around that test by now.
Well, didn't they bust BJ for that?
Yeah, but then he got cleared.
When USADA first came in?
Yeah, but then he got cleared.
Well, he got cleared, months later, but they still detected that he had an IV. I mean, here's my thing on it.
But like, no. The point I'm making is, even if they did have a test, they found a way around the test by now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but here's my thing on the whole. He's saying the early weigh-ins screwed everything up. Mm-hmm. Why are you blaming the weigh-ins and not blaming the fighters for being unprofessional? That's my whole thing. People were missing weight when they didn't have early weigh-ins, and he had nothing but bad things to say about it. And then they made the weigh-ins early. I just don't get it.
I mean, I don't have the numbers in front of me. Has there been more guys missing weight for big fights, that sort of thing? I think Dana's logic, I mean, as misguided as it may be, he's just looking at, like, well, these guys used to have all day to cut weight, and now they're, like, pushing it because it's in the morning, and they're missing weight because they're not leaving themselves enough time because yada, yada, yada. So maybe that's what he's thinking. I don't know. But, I mean, that's knowing fighters, that wouldn't surprise me. Guys just thinking, oh, I'll be fine. They, like, wake up. They think they're going to wake up at, like, 3 a.m. or, like, 4 a.m. to, like, start cutting weight. They don't get up till, like, 6. And all of a sudden they have 3 hours to cut weight. Then they're, like, hurrying. And all of a sudden they come in. They can't cut weight in time. They have to go to weigh-ins, and they miss weight.
And, like, we talked about this last week, and I know you're a fan of this guy. Jose Torres was about to fight for the 145-pound title in Titan FC. Chose to fight on 9 days' notice, and Lou Giordano got him down to 125 pounds in 9 days, and he did it healthy. That's a fighter, man. Look what you did for the Ultimate Fighter. You cut down to 215. You didn't look like you were ready to die. Or 205? I thought it was 215. You didn't look like you were ready to die. You were fine.
That took me. But, like, but that was, like, I'm just insane. Like,
but you're a professional. You are a professional. True. These guys and Omar, you said it 2 weeks ago when we were talking about Mackenzie Dern. You signed him at dotted line saying that you're going to come in at such and such a weight. There's no reason why you shouldn't be there. None. Yeah,
I know. No. I like the point I was making. It wasn't good for me, but that is true. You have to be a professional. I mean, shit. I don't know. Like, he's
spouting off at the mouth something crazy lately. What he said about Greg Hardy. I wanted to punch my fist through the phone. Oh well, you guys need to give him a break. He was never convicted of anything. What?
Listen. No. Well, then they never let me fight him. But let me tell you something right now. Greg Hardy, no. Greg Hardy will get his, and I'll give it to him if I have to. Like, here's the beautiful thing right now. Austin Lane is going to push Greg Hardy's shit in. You guys watch him, Austin Lane's fight. Motherfucker is 4-0. He's fought. He's really fought. Yeah. He had 4 amateur fights. The motherfucker has 8 fights. He's also an ex-pro football player. Greg ain't shit. Greg is a fucking bully. He is but
it's just the point that like, Dana's sitting there defending him against people.
But yes, I get it. But he's a promoter. He has to do this. And think about all the documentaries. Like I forget what it was. Think about Christy Mack, War Machine. Think about I saw a documentary about that specific situation, and Mayhem talked about it. Said there's no vetting process. Like UFC, wants to be the NFL of mixed martial arts, but still mixed martial arts, still some shady characters. And with that being said, as big of a piece of fucking shit Greg Hardy is, as I would like to just tear him limb from limb and break something off him and freaking Paul Harris his leg.
Yikes.
With that being said, I mean, he's still an ex-NFL player, legitimizes the UFC if he comes in and wins, and he's an impressive specimen. Like, and to be perfectly fucking honest, awful, but it's an NFL's dirty little secret for years. Like, domestic violence is a regular thing in the NFL, unfortunately. It is what it is.
It's really, there's a really high percentage.
But, like, there's at least, think about it, every season there's at least 3, like, publicized arrests. There's definitely more than that. Other than that, talking about guys dealing with head trauma, steroids, alcohol, drugs, like, fucking God complex. It's, like, it happens, okay? So, Dana's kind of taking It was like a year ago. I actually think Dan's wrong. I think he was convicted. But like there.
Well, no, the girl just disappeared. She disappeared before all the court stuff was supposed to happen.
It was something along those lines. But I mean, the guy's a legit prospect. The thing is, no NFL team would sign him not because he wasn't good. Like, as big of a piece of shit human as he is, he's a good fucking football player. Basically, like maybe a tier below or right at that all-pro level. Like, he's a beast of a defensive lineman. He was a beast of a defensive lineman / outside linebacker. Like, as a deplorable human being as he is, at best, I think I'd whip his ass. Like, that motherfucker could ball. I'll give him that. So,
and that says a lot about what type. Like, I think that speaks to what was really like the stuff that we might not even know about. Because the NFL, if you can ball, they'll forgive a lot of sins.
Exactly.
Except for
exactly. And to be perfectly honest, I just want to wrap Greg Hardy up, give him a nice little choke, like just whisper in his ear. I just going to sleep. Like, hope they pull me off you in time, because if not, you're not waking up.
just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Oh, I hope that's the thing. I hope the ref is good. Like, oh fuck, that's great.
But I mean, as far as that goes, I mean, I get where Dan's coming from. And here's the other thing: the guy is a phenomenal athlete. He could pull something off, but I think more than likely he's gonna get fucked up. But
I sure hope so. And I can't wait to watch that tomorrow night.
But you hear the other thing. The other thing, whether he wins or loses, he's going back to LFA. Win or lose, he's going back to LFA for a little while.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, Greg,
if he gets the contract, he won't.
In public, who runs it? I know McManard. I don't know who the matchmaker is there now, but whoever the matchmaker is for LFA, McManard, forward them this. I will take Greg Hardy's ass out. I will fuck his world up, and you'll get the best fucking promo and the most viewership of Access TV you'll have ever fucking had. But I'm gonna.
They should make that happen if he goes back.
Yeah, I think we're gonna help make that happen after tomorrow night. But
like, honestly, I'll say this though. You know what I could also see happening? I could see Greg get absolutely murdered tomorrow night. I could see that happening, and then I could see him crawling in a hole, never coming out, and never fighting again. I can 100% see that happening. If he gets embarrassed, he'll probably never come back because he's a bully. He has no character.
I love it because I agree 100% with that. And here's something that I know you're. What's up?
No. I'm sorry. I only cut you off.
Go for it.
Everybody, fuck Greg Hardy. Not fuck Austin Lee, because Austin Lee's a fucking man. But you all need to watch tomorrow night. The fight to watch is Sean Lally. Sean Lally, the unpredictable one, is coming home with a KO over, I can't remember his name right now. The CBS champion. I can't remember his name right now, but Lally is going to murder him. I've been training with this kid. I wouldn't want I'd fight if I had to, but I wouldn't want to. It wouldn't be like first thing on my list of things I really want to do because he looks great. Everything I've seen, he's been on point for months. I don't see anyone beating him.
Yeah, I've seen some of his fights. He's really good. He's definitely someone I'm rooting for tomorrow night. But buddy, Dana White said one thing the other night.
Yeah.
And it really pissed me off because no matter what Nick Newell does in his contender fight, doesn't matter if he submits this guy in 30 seconds, he's never going to get a contract with the UFC because Dana White thinks he is a liability. Now, here's my question. How is Nick Newell a liability when you have Stefan Struve, who's fighting with half a heart, and Michael Bisping, who was fighting for a championship, basically with one eye? How is that not a liability? But Nick Newell, the kid it's a joke.
I'll tell you right now. From Dan's point of view, because it's something you can see. No one if you didn't tell, if people like you didn't make this stuff public, we wouldn't know about Stefan Struve or Michael Bisping. But trials around, freedom of the press, etc. So we do. But the things that you just brought up, like, you're an MMA nerd. I'm an MMA nerd. I know this shit. Like, the only reason Joe Casual knows this shit is because Joe Rogan said it on a broadcast, which he said maybe once, twice, 3 times, how people watching in the bar. Most people just don't know that. And so unless you know that, you can't see it. You meet Nick, and he has half one of his arms is cut off at the elbow. I know Nick. Nick is the man. I fought on 2 cards with Nick. I fought my second, it was either my second amateur or second pro fight. Nick and I were both on the card. It was for Cage Titans FC. Big shout out to Mike Polver. He got Nick Noel started now. He's got like 3 UFC guys now have their start with Cage Titans. Anyway, and I fought with him on World Series of Fighting. I think what will happen is kind of like the Ronda Rousey effect, kind of like how Dana said that Ronda Rousey would never fight in the UFC, a woman would never fight in the UFC. They saw what Ronda was doing. They went to the Strike Force event, and he was like, yeah, fuck that, we're signing her, because he saw it, you know? Having seen Nick fight and seeing him, like, I've, like, fought at a casino, and it was in his home state of Connecticut, but I've seen that kid, like, bringing an arena to its feet. Like, he came out, and Song's jumping, and he's, like, you know, raising his arm and his, you know, his half arm, like, raised it up, and everyone got to their feet and went nuts. Like, kid's inspirational. The kid has charisma. I think Dan will see that tomorrow night. Or whenever he fights.
Isn't that something that the UFC should want? Like, they love the success story, like with Francis Ngannou, you know, where he was homeless a few years ago.
Yeah, I totally agree. But, dude, this is, like, at the end of the day, all this is Dana beating Dana. Like, who called the shots? Dana.
And let's say it again. He gave CM Punk another shot in the UFC. Isn't that a liability? A guy with, you know, subpar athletic ability getting the opportunity to fight on the grandest stage of them all?
Again, it's not okay. It's gonna be the same. Like, it's the same fear. It's just like the visceral reaction of seeing it. Like, if someone comes in and sneaks a high kick, like if I was gonna say, let's say he fights Gaethje again, okay? Gaethje sneaks a high, Gaethje is beating up his leg. All of a sudden he sneaks a high kick over his half arm, knocks him out, and like just like sleeps him, and it's like a bloody fight, and Nick's lying there unconscious on the canvas. That's pretty fucking visceral, but like that's because you can see it, you know, like you see shit like that, and it's just more visceral and crazy. And if a man with like who, in my opinion, is in the cage, he certainly isn't. Like, I mean, maybe he's at a bit of a physical disadvantage, but that motherfucker can fight. I've seen him fight. Like the only guy that's ever beaten him is fucking Justin Gaethje. Like the motherfucker can fight.
That's impressive.
Right.
1 arm, 2 arms, 3 arms. Like, that's impressive. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a barometer.
Exactly. So like, say like Gaethje stuck a high kick. He in a bloody fight. Gaethje stuck a high kick over his head and over his like small arm, and boom, slapped him. Bloody fight. Like, that's visceral, scary, you know. Same as it'll be if there's ever, I'm saying if there's, when there's a death in the UFC, like, same thing, you know, man.
I still don't think Dana's going to give him a fair shake. I don't.
There's something you said, see it for yourself. He'll see it for himself. He's seen lots of video. He saw Ronda Rousey on lots of video. Then he went and saw it for himself, and convinced him, you know.
I don't know. I mean, Nick Newell's somebody. I've been following him since his first fight on Access TV.
All right.
And I love the story because he's a jiu-jitsu master with an arm and a half. You know what I mean? He's submitting people like that.
He can strike too. That's
beautiful enough story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, Nick's a beast. Like, Nick Newell is an absolute beast. He really is. He really is. I've had people hate on. People have like hated on him. They're like, oh, he's cocky. I'm like, well, you kind of have to be in this fucking sport, you know? Especially when you're like, people are like just counting you out like that from the get-go. Be as cocky as you fucking want. As you mow these motherfuckers down, you should be cocky. And
you kind of have
he's
to
also
be.
cocky. He's also cocky and not that much of a dick about it.
Yeah,
like
no,
I can't even
no.
say that. I can't even say that. I'm a dick about it. But he's like
He's not
that much
cocky.
of a
He's
dick about
confident.
it.
He's not cocky. He's confident. That's what he is. He's confident. There's a big, big difference. Cocky is
Well,
T-O-T.
no, I hear you, but I'm just talking about like it's more people just kind of hating on him for looking for a reason to hate on him. You know, like you hear things on the scene. You know, like we came up in the same scene, the local scene here in New England, Massachusetts. Like you hear things, you hear people talking. So just things I heard that I never saw. Nick's the fucking man. He's one of the coolest dudes I met in the sport.
See, Omar and I kind of had a little theory. God, it had to be months and months ago, that Dana is probably afraid to sign Nick Newell because if Nick Newell starts beating some of his top lightweights with an arm and a half, that's going to make him look bad. Because Dana is, because the UFC is where the best fighters in the world fight, and he brought Chuck Liddell over to Japan to fight in Pride. Like that's just one of these things that sit in the back of my head.
The Chuck got fucking murked.
Yes.
Murdered. He got laid out.
Yes.
Murked. Yeah, well, that was. I miss those days, but like, yeah, man. I mean, while I see your point, I mean, listen, what did Dana do after Ronda blew up? Oh man, she convinced me. Like I just went and saw her fight.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Good call.
I was wrong. She convinced me. They'll say the same thing about Nick, and it'll work, and everyone will love it. Then they got listen. I mean, I love you, Nick. I don't know if you can beat Conor or Khabib, but I mean, God bless you, man. You ever make one of those fights happen? That would
If he
so
gets
much
it to the
fucking
ground,
money.
he's got Conor. If he gets it to the ground, he's got him.
Yeah, have fun getting it to the ground. Jeez. But I think, hey, if anyone could do it, I think Nick could.
Yeah, I love how you act like Conor's actually coming back. That's cute.
Listen,
You got a better shot at Artem coming back before him.
While I love to do this shit, I don't know if I would go sprint back to the cage every time if I had fuck you money, and Conor has fuck you money. But I think, listen, knowing what I know, that's a 50 shot. I mean, I know plenty of Irish guys. I know several Irish fighters. And I think probably at some point, he's going to worry about his legacy. I mean,
so what you're saying is you have inside knowledge that he's coming back to fight Khabib.
Wow,
no,
look at this guy. Wow.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all.
Watch out, Tyler.
What I'm saying is,
Jesus.
being a fighter and knowing people, not saying that I know people, knowing people and being a fighter, I think he'll probably worry about his legacy. Not to mention, he'll probably get the UFC to co-promote, and he probably won't make $100 million again, but he'll probably make like 50 million
60.
come back.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, like still the highest paid fucking fighter in MMA history. I think we'll take it.
Well, that's right, folks. You heard it here. Tyler King has inside knowledge that Conor McGregor is coming back to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Of course, that's what I have. Wait a minute. You guys pay attention to the reports that Conor? No. Like, here's the other thing. Conor was actually, it was being discussed for Conor to fight RDA.
I don't believe that at all. I don't believe it at all. You know why I don't believe it?
Why not?
Because Conor also said he wanted to fight Frankie for the 165-pound vacant title.
All right. Maybe he does.
I think it's just ways to keep his name in the MMA news because, life without him is moving on in professional sports.
Is it really?
I think it kind of bothers.
Is it really?
Is
it really? Like,
yeah.
How's it really moving on? How's it really moving on, though? Like, a couple of titles are moving around here, but everyone's still waiting. Everyone's still,
everybody's still
really
talking about it. He's still the barometer,
yes,
man.
Exactly. Like, it's really hasn't, I don't see there being any huge, moving on here where we're just kind of waiting for that big fight, As fight fans, what do? We sit around waiting for the next big fight. What was the last super mega fight? Was Conor and Floyd. So we're going to wait for that again. The next one that will kind of get us will be Stipe and DC. Then if whatever happens with Jones Lesnar, everyone will freak out for that. And then Conor Khabib or Conor whoever. Honestly,
I wonder if that Lesnar fight is going to be on like an Indian reservation.
Wait, why would it be on an Indian reservation? They both serve their time. They both serve their suspensions. But
did Jones get the big hearing where he could be out for 4 years?
He's not going to be out for 4 years. Like the hearing hasn't happened yet, but he's not going to be out for 4 years. We're getting close to what? It's been over a year, right? It's been a year.
Easily. Yeah, we're closing in on 2. I think. We're getting.
Yeah, it's almost 2 years. They're probably saying, okay, we'll have the hearing and we're going to say time served. That's probably where they're at right now.
Oh, good, but I think they should have it on an Indian reservation anyway, so the two of them could juice.
Oh my God! Oh my!
Listen. If
Jesus
anyone
Christ.
knew anything about anything, they would fucking have had that fight in Ryzen. The problem is, Ryzen doesn't make the kind of money to pay them
trying.
what they want.
Omar, was I not trying?
You were. You were trying to make it. You were trying to make it work, but
I was talking to somebody on the inside to talk to Ryzen to try and get John Jones, and I was told they don't have the money to pay him. So I was trying. Because Brock Lesnar was big in Japan when he was a wrestler. So
of course he was, Dan. Oh, listen, man. Listen. You tell me you don't want to see Brock and John Jones coming out to just the freaking techno, the lights down, the huge ramp, freaking or whatever new cool elevator thing they would have thought of for that fight. I mean, they made me look cool. I mean, geez, what are they going to do with those guys?
I want to see the fight just to see the fight. I think it would be a definite interesting fight to see what Jones could do against somebody who is, chiseled out of granite. Well, maybe not so much anymore because he's a little bit older, but.
I mean, honestly, what probably happens is I think Jones just stabs him from distance, just stabs him over and over and over and over again, and then eventually catches him, hurts him, finishes him. Because I don't think Brock's will be able to take Jones down. Or if he does, maybe once early on, but then Jones will work his way back up. That'll be that.
It'll be interesting. It definitely will be interesting. Well, listen, guys, we're going to start closing out here. Before we close out, Tyler, Roberto wanted to let you know that you need to do another interview for us over here at Fightbook MMA, sir. Roberto wanted me to tell you that.
Tell Roberto, love him.
Well, he's listening. Because now Pride Rules has joined the Fightbook family. So now we're
Fightbook. I mean, Maz
right.
over at Fightbook. Maz took the best picture of me ever in a fight. It was my first World Series of Fighting fight. I was playing Pat Walsh. The fight I lost by decision, unfortunately. But Maz took the best picture of me ever. It was in the third round, and we were just throwing. He had taken me down and cut me up with an elbow, and I didn't get up for a few minutes. And I worked my way to the face. My whole entire face is just red. It's probably the best MMA picture anyone has ever taken to me. So I've been a big fan of Fightbook MMA for a while. So I would be happy to work with them again.
Well, Roberto, we're going to set that up. Well, listen, Tyler, we are so glad that you called in tonight. You always come in on the great nights when we're sitting here discussing fights. It's always nice to have a professional fighter on all these fights and to come back with the banter with us. We love every minute of it. We appreciate that you take the time to call in. Hopefully we can get some more fighters to call in just like you do, off the cuff, and have some fun. Right, Omar?
Absolutely, man. I always love having Tyler on. It's always a fun time.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that, guys. I ain't really doing anything special. I'm training. Now I'm just stuffing my face. I'm about to cook a pizza and some nuggets. So, I mean, I ain't really doing anything that special. So, happy to do it, guys.
Well,
Thank
good.
You, sir.
Well, you should definitely do it more.
Because I'm shoving my face. Sorry about that. Absolutely. No, guys, absolutely. I would love to. You know that.
Thank you.
That's right, fans. That was Tyler King with us tonight. Just a quick shout out to our sponsors, 80K Fightwear, Black Hole Jiu-Jitsu, Madama Jiu-Jitsu, Roberto and the entire family over there at Fightbook MMA. We will be back next Monday night, going to work on getting us a guest. Maybe we can get Sean Lally. I will have Tyler working on that since he owes us one after the first guest he tried to get us.
Wow. Wow.
If he's still on the line.
He just came on and hooked us up, and you're already flaming. You waited until he hung up. I can't.
I didn't even know he wasn't on the line anymore. We're definitely gonna work. I know. Well, we're definitely gonna work on getting a guest for next Monday night. It's been a fun show. Thank you again, Tyler King, for joining us. I am the Reverend Tommy D, joined with me as always by my homeboy El Professor Omar Sangarima. For Kareem, who's out there laying the pipe, as he told us in the pre-show that he couldn't come on.
Oh, my word. We just blew his spot up. We did.
We just blew his spot up. That's what he gets.
Damn it.
That's what he gets. When you put that over your show obligations, you're going to get called out on air. So, guys, I can't wait to have another show next week. We are Pride Rules Podcast. Good night.